This video was planned as the Granblue Fantasy Relink Endless Ragnarok open beta closed, and I have been lazy and slow at working on it to the point the game is actually released, but at least now I can give all the details I would have missed, so let's have a deep dive into summons and primal bursts from what I experienced. Starting off with Primal Burst, since it's a lot more simple, here is the order of actions to perform from the beginning of the battle. Build the link time, execute link time, Lyra will pop out and will start channeling Bahamut or other primals. When the channeling is ready, execute a full super skybound art of all 4 characters, to which at the end, Lyra will automatically join summoning the beast. By the time that is over, you should have already your link nearly full again, which will then charge the next beast once it triggers. It's a neat cycle for extra DPS that will probably push players to chain SBAs more than instead going off one by one. Or if you have enough uplift, can risk doubling SBAs fast enough. But seeing how some player and characters are already at the top of their game barely a week in, maybe it won't affect as much. Now let's get to business with summons. Summons are entities you can call forth during your battle once you unlock the Chaos difficulty. You will know you can use them when on the quest list it will literally say summons allowed. Like characters, they have elements. As War Elemental does not affect them, you could pay attention to which element you use against what enemy, or just don't because the damage is still pretty high. They have a rarity tier like sigils, from 1 to 3 boosting stats for support and damage for other types. Who knows if we will see up to 5 in maybe future updates. There are 3 types: damage, debuff and support, and there are a lot of different effects. Each summon has 3 different sections, let's call them section: action, overmastery trait, and sigil slot. First, the actual summon act, which reflects the type. They can be acted on their own, especially for support type summons, or you can move and or aim and attack to add damage or statuses to the fight for debuff and damage type summons. But here comes the RNG and gacha of late Endless Ragnarok: overmastery trait and sigil. No matter if you play solo or online, equipping 4 summons is a must, as both the trait and sigil will count towards your build. If you were debating on how to slide a specific sigil in your build, check your summons, you might have it there for free. This will become super handy when running either mastery points farming build or for extra damage cap or even Lucilia's sigils without messing around your build too much. Overall, it's 4 extra slots for both. Summons rarity will affect the sigil level. Rare or 1 will have from level 4 to 6, Epic or 2 from 7 to 10, and Legendary or 3 from 11 to 15, with some exception summons that will have no number but are still under Legendary. No spoilers. Of course, the Mastery trait and Sigil will be your own decision, so make sure to not forget to save presets once you find specific combos that work fine for you. I'm not here to advise which ones are best because even I haven't come up with a set for myself, but of course damage caps tend to see the most desired one. Unfortunately, I am unaware of which summons particularly drop on what quest, but some of them do show under the drop tab in each quest. So that covers the passive knowledge I know about them. So let's go into actually using them in battle. They are not free to use, of course, and they all vary in cost depending on their effect. Something important to keep in mind is that using a summon will lower the cost of future summons, which means if you bring, for example, a roster of summons of 1, 2, and 2-3 charge cost summons in that order, you will be able to use them all at the cost of 1 charge each. Of course, you can vary with a 2, 2, 3, 3, but it means it will take you 2 charges to start the summoning. Most times when playing with randoms online, you will find that people most times bring a 3-cost summon, so having a 1 or 2 cost on your first slot means you will get to go first and make it easier for others to use theirs too. Even if I feel like the meta is crazy and fights end before even getting to use even 2 summons. There are also mastery points that can affect the summon effectiveness and cost, excluding some specific ones. But when do you want to use a summon? Just like Skybound Arts, if you want to min-max, there are specific moments you could use them. It's good to know that while controlling a summon, if a link attack happens, you will automatically join or trigger it, so the stun bar is not something you need to take account of. When an enemy goes into overdrive and therefore bloodthirst, this can be a good time to use support time summons, as your damage will be decreased anyway, but also you do not take any damage while in summon mode, so it will save you if you are unsure if you can survive the phase. While you can't summon while people are using Skybound Art, you can Skybound Art while someone is summoning, which doesn't really affect much. Just remember you can dismiss the summon if you think you won't be able to SBA chain in time. In the end, go crazy with it and experiment yourself when you prefer to use them. Overall, summons are a great way for us to have extra sigil slots and traits without changing the overall game, like adding a second stat to sigils or adding more character sigil slots, like it has been speculated in the past. and the fact that summons do not need to be leveled up or crafted makes it a straightforward gamble. Also remember, since the real Endless Ragnarok is about mastery points, you can now trade summons for them. I wish I could recommend some good summons, but even I don't know that when I'm still experimenting. So I would love to hear your combination and what sigils in particular you are running on them. For now, I am simply bringing a Silver Slime for the Path of Mastery sigil and low cost when playing online, and it's very cute, it does a little wobbly dance. Hopefully, once we know and see more summons variation, I'll be able to see what works best for me at least. I never say this, but apparently I don't know anymore how to end the video, so thank you for watching and I hope you are enjoying the game as much as I am. And thank you Cygames for the game, please contact me more, I am at your service!